What is going on, everyone, and welcome into another episode of Expected Bets for your go-to podcast for all things hockey betting. I am Gator Betting, joined by both of my co-hosts today, Gretzky Betskis and Franco the Banker. Guys, trade deadline right around the corner, and we already have some big moves today, especially Vanacek starts off heading to Florida. Tampa Bay gets competitive.
That may be the biggest move of the day, right?
I feel like it has to be, right?
Yeah.
Well, Jack Hughes.
Okay, fair.
Yeah. Yeah, very true. Before we get into all that, how we doing?
Oh, pretty good. I saw a little mammoth emoji in the chat. So Mammoth Club, Tusk up.
Yeah.
Making the big playoff push. You guys don't even know. You don't even know.
I want to see some different colors, man. Like, I hope it's not just black and blue and white. I hope they get some
looks
cool
so
colors
clean,
in there.
though.
Yeah, it does. I like the colors.
Yeah.
What do you want? Orange and black?
No, I saw one with like a purple outline or something going on. That looked kind of cool.
The Jazz colors.
I want a little something else. I want a little something.
Yeah. I've seen some mocks where they have the piping or striping kind of like mountains that looks really cool. But I think they can quote unquote jazz it up a little bit and keep the main colors.
Been thinking about that one all day, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess you're right. The biggest news is Jordan Greenway re-signed with the Sabres too for a 2-year deal. So that's
we were waiting.
Yeah,
we were waiting for that news. I mean, I don't know.
That will do it.
I'm happy that broke and get him signed. So that's pretty nice. Yeah. Any of these topics you guys want to address really before we head into today's games?
Yeah, let's talk about Hughes, but before that move by Tampa is crazy. I love it.
The depth is finally there.
The depth is insane now, and I mean they still have guys like Connor Geeky that they can pull up, which they probably will once deadline passes and they're allowed to have unlimited cap roster flexibility or whatever. I think the rosters increase by a couple spots for the playoffs.
Yep.
But I mean, push all the chips in at this point. It's going to get ugly once they start to peter out a little bit and age out. Yeah. It'll probably look much more like Chicago than what's happening with the Capitals, where they've managed to continue drafting and retooling, same as Dallas, and stay competitive. But I mean, I think this is a win-win. This is what Seattle should have been doing, and they've been kind of piecemealing this rebuild by trading guys for like seconds and thirds. I don't know if they've ever had multiple firsts in one draft. So it's good to see them finally get kind of rewarded. And what's interesting on the Seattle side, Wright's really starting to pick up. He has 15 goals now. Has had a really great last 20 or so games. Obviously, Matty Benier is a great 2C, and in a league where there's 32 teams and maybe more coming, it's hard to get center depth. So they may be really set down the middle now. And now you're just adding more picks. Now you can start building out some of the defense, and they have a lot of great high-skilled winger prospects. They're kind of like...
Yeah, I feel like they've drafted well the last couple of years with high upside wingers. So
high upside, though, it's a little risky. Like even Caton last year, where they could have gone defense there. But anyways, now you have all these extra picks to maybe just throw at defenders who take a little bit longer to develop, but you have a decent blue line already. So this may be one of those teams, kind of like what we saw with the Wild, where it was an expansion team that took a little bit of time to find their identity. And after they started drafting really well and some of those prospects started hitting, they were able to kind of jump on some big names in free agency. Not talking about Suter or Parise here, really, but more like Zuccarello and, Nico Rantanen and Mitch Marner are potentially both available this offseason. And Seattle just emptied a ton of cap.
That could get interesting.
Right?
Yeah. And then
Man, just add Marner out of nowhere, and now you got Marner playing with Shane Wright or something.
Don't forget too, they got Mikey Eismont, so hopefully those shot props are available for him.
Ooh, yeah.
Don't forget he was a
Oh,
goat
yeah.
a couple years
Yeah.
ago. If he gets a role on this team, which theoretically should happen.
Yep.
I don't see why he doesn't.
It just
Yeah,
depends.
especially when you move out two forwards.
Yeah, but they still have like Burakovsky. They still have Eberle. They have a lot of guys that are kind of blocking that way. I don't know. We'll see. I would like to see him be offered.
Yeah. I mean, unless Spring is Sprong, and Sprong still gets the top 6.
hopefully he gets some run again. That'll be great.
It's very true. Jack Hughes done for the season, and it looks like the Devils' playoff hopes are in that same boat. Dougie Hamilton also got hurt last night as well. I know a lot of people were on his shots on goal prop, so that sucked. Yeah,
if Utah makes the playoffs and the Devils don't, my team has made the playoffs as many times as Cheddar's team has made the playoffs since we started doing these shows. I'll never live it down. Man. I will never live it down.
No.
I love it.
Yeah. All right. Also, we'll be doing a giveaway at the end of the show. If you haven't entered yet, you can go check out our pinned tweet. You have to subscribe on Apple Podcasts and just give us a follow on YouTube. Yep. So if you haven't done so yet, be sure to check that out. We'll be doing the giveaway at the end of the show. Getting into today's slate, Washington at New York. New York minus 105, Washington minus 115. Total set at 6.5. We got a bunch of 6.5s today, guys. Not bad. Plus 110 to the over, minus 130 to the under. Washington broke their 3-game losing streak in their last matchup against Ottawa. New York 4-2 since the break. They're on a 2-game win streak. Franco, I'll start with you in this one. Any picks in Washington, New York?
I mean, first of all, is this the ultimate trap line or what?
Yep.
I mean, I've been putting, I've told you guys I've been trying to give lines or project lines before looking at them, and I had the Caps around like minus 130, minus 140, just given what we know about these two teams, and seeing minus 115 this morning or minus 118, whatever it was. I was immediately kind of just thrown off, and I'm like, normally you'd be like, okay, pull the trigger right away, but I don't know if it's like that thought process that they're coming off of 2 straight shutouts, but I mean, come on, man, it's Nashville and the Islanders. Over their last 5, their 4 wins in their last 5 were against the Islanders twice, Nashville and Pittsburgh. I wouldn't think any of those teams are ones you would be bragging about beating. So yeah, they've been playing better, but like, I mean, I don't know. And I guess conversely, you're talking about a Caps team has kind of struggled recently. They've a couple brutal losses against, was it the Blues and Flames? So, and they lost that Lightning game, but that's, the Lightning are a wagon right now. So I don't know. Is this one of those things where like the books know something and the Rangers just take this game, and I don't know. I can't get there with either side is what it comes down to. I feel like I should be betting the Caps, and maybe tomorrow I'll be regretting not taking them. But I think you have to just go to props here, and Ovi's the guy to start with, obviously. And I know we talked about it a little bit before the show, but I think, again, take him every game until the season's over, and I think you're going to be profitable as long as he's not minus 150.
Yeah, at least while the price is right.
Yeah.
I mean, it's funny to look at his attempts chart and go, ooh, last game was a little ugly. He only had 5 shots on goal off 8 attempts.
It was a down game.
Unacceptable.
Like that was, And, the game before he missed, we only had 3 shots off 16 attempts. So, they're going to hand it to you at minus 115. Since coming from the break, I've bet it every single game. So that's 5 hits and 1 loss.
Yep. That's what I'm saying. You just take it. Why wouldn't you?
Yeah.
You're going to lose a couple.
A 1.5 guy that's minus 180 like JT Miller.
Yeah.
Well, even Cooley too. Cooley opened at minus 138 on FanDuel last night and is now up to minus 160 tonight for that 2+ shots on goal. Liked it back then. Obviously, I'm going to stay off now. That minus 160 is just not a bettable number for him. So, Betsky, you're on Ovechkin at 4+, I'm assuming.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah.
Any other
I'll
props
happily
for you?
take that as a straight.
Yep.
You know, if we're looking for like more parlay pieces and stuff, JT Miller's just been so damn good. His points minus 160. I think the other night when they were playing the Islanders, it was like minus 180 or minus 185 or so. So you're getting a nice little discount there with the perceived notion that the Capitals aren't going to be able to stop him. But one thing that's been interesting with the Rangers since Miller has come on board is I feel like we're getting more dominance by one line, where before you were really looking at three lines that could produce. Obviously, we're still it's still a decent top six. You're still going to be able to get Panarin on the score sheet and whatnot, but that JT Miller and Zibanejad line with Cooley has been so good. And when you go down this lineup now, where before you had kind of like Kakko and Hedel in the third line, and you never knew what games they were going to go off. We're talking about Offman, who is a prospect that's just kind of hitting Parsonen and Brodzinski on the third line. Like you're getting essentially the same guys you always have been able to bet on as parlay pieces in Panarin at one point, Zibanejad, Trocheck, Lafreniere, JT Miller, but you're getting them all at a discount now. And this is a team that is so much more heavily reliant on that top six in the 5-on-5 than they were previously. They're still very heavily reliant on the power play. I don't think their power play has even been all that great lately. I'll need to pull that up. But yeah, I'll staple Miller at minus 160 to another piece that looks good any day. Or with Zibanejad. I think I pitched this last game and Zibanejad missed, but
I mean, isn't it crazy that Zibanejad point is like a wagon again?
Yeah.
Like this was a guy we thought was toast, right? We weren't even looking at this guy, considering this guy, and what since the Four Nations break, he has 7 points in 6 games.
Yeah.
I mean, that's crazy. I know the matchups weren't, obviously we're talking about the teams they played, but I mean, it's crazy. This team's been scoring like crazy. They've been red hot. And it's kind of all been because of JT Miller, it feels like.
I know.
Who would have known that JT Miller coming on his team would change everything?
It's funny to think that he's so much better than when he was originally on the Rangers. Like as a complete player.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, back then he was just like a two-way guy who was like a decent second line C, but you'd probably prefer him as a 3C. And then other one that really stood out for me is Alexi Protas is back on the top line, plus 120 for a point. He's a road dog, hitting 62% of his road games, 7 straight road games. Plus 120 for that. Insane. You know, it's funny that actually, now that I'm like thinking about all this, the Capitals feel more like the days of the Rangers of the old than the Rangers do now, where you have the PLD line with McMichael and Wilson, or you know, Protas gets thrown back down to the second line, and you got these two lines with some depth scoring on the third, and you're kind of hoping you're throwing your dart at the right spot here, where now the Rangers are kind of like more of a one line team.
Yeah, usually we're going to save our Vancouver insult stats to the last game, but we'll start early today.
Okay, yeah.
That is, yeah, we brought that up on our last show, and it is an absurd stat. So you mentioned Alexi Protas. I do like his shots for today as well. So he's hitting 6 of his last 7 games, and his attempts have been pretty solid as well. 6-3-3 in his last 3. Head-to-head history is not great, but I'm not really counting that for too much, given how much he's kind of transformed as a player this year. On the road, 51.7%. New York ranks 29th for shots against. So at that number, I'm happily going to take Protas today for 2+. McMichael, Well, he served us well last time out. I'm a little bit hesitant on him today, given his home and away splits, I'm pretty sure. But let me just double check on that. Home
Yeah, 3 of 10.
65%. Yeah.
5 straight on
He's
the road.
averaging 5 shots on goal over the last 5 games. All of which were home. Never mind.
Yeah, so I am off McMichael tonight, but Protoss I'm definitely going to be on along with Ovechkin. So I do like those two.
Yeah.
Any other plays for you guys in this one? Cooley, like I said, I liked it, but again, you're getting a terrible number now at this point. He's just a home dog. I think at home this season, he's hit in 67.7% of games, on the road down to 60. So maybe a parlay piece tonight, but that's all I had. Franco, the chat is clamoring
For PLD,
for
baby.
PLD,
Mhm.
unless you
Yeah,
want.
I mean
we got
that
Joe
line
and Dave.
that line's great. That line's been great. I mean, what like you guys said, I mean, it's coming from a little bit everywhere right now as far as the production. My only hesitance is this, like I said, this line with, obviously it's bumped up to 6.5 the total, but Rangers coming off of 2 straight shutouts. Obviously they're going to want to keep that going. Shesterkin's playing at a great, playing great right now, really, when it comes down to it. A lot of people were talking about Ryan Lindgren being the reason why this defense and this blue line was so bad. Obviously, he's out now. So I don't know. I don't know if I'm buying the Rangers defense being improved, because obviously they were a team to target earlier in the year, and now all of a sudden they're good. So, yeah, I don't know. This game gives me a lot of pause, so I don't want to be super heavily invested in it. Let's put it that way. But I could see a point where PLD does get involved. -125 isn't too bad, but I kind of lean more towards the under, just given what the Rangers have done recently and what they're gonna want to continue to keep this shutout streak going. Even if it's only through a period and a half, that means no goals for Capitals through a period and a half. So how many goals are we getting from them? I don't know. What do you guys think about that? Like, just keeping a shutout streak going. 2 straight games is impressive, right? Like, I get it. They're against shitty teams, but,
It's so hard to do, though.
Oh, I know.
Yeah. Rangers team total under.
Yeah, I mean, now this game is up to 6.5. Like, I could see the under coming in at 6.5.
Yeah. Fox is out. Is Keandre Miller in or out?
I'm pretty sure he's in.
And I know his shot prop was offered. He hit, and now it's not offered again, which I thought was kind of interesting.
Is that how it always works?
Yeah. That's what I wanted to confirm, too. I didn't see him on the injury news, but I was like, why isn't he?
Well, there he is with Will Borgen as your top pair for the New York Rangers.
That's what I'm saying. I don't buy this blue line, but somehow, like I said, 2 straight shutouts. So what the hell's going on?
Yeah, so wouldn't that lean more toward shots? You don't have to worry about points at this point. You just take Ovechkin, Betsky. You like Protas' point. I like his shots on goal, but it seems like this is a perfect spot to just not have to worry about Shesterkin and basically take him out of the equation with New York's banged up defense.
Yeah, that's what I want. I want shots. I agree.
Yep.
Wow. What a roller coaster you've had this year with shots on goal, huh?
I'm
on it,
back.
and you're off it. Now we're fully back invested in it.
So the last thing I'll bring up, although he hasn't really done much, he had a point last game. Zach Jones is being offered finally. He is on the top power play still, yes. So maybe worth a sprinkle at +175. I don't know.
I can see it. All right. Any other plays in this one?
No, let's move on. Yeah.
Chads, you at least locked in the Devils to miss the playoffs, so you're at least going to make money off of this.
I don't know if you were here earlier, but I was saying if Utah makes the playoffs this year, and my team has made the playoffs as many times as the Devils have since we started doing the show, I feel like I should get some sort of gold star.
I'll put a gold star next to your name. I can give you that. Yeah. All right. I'll do that. Instead of like it's like European soccer teams where they have the star for like the championships they've won in the league titles. Ours is just not Stanley Cup.
I'll just spray
for
paint one of my
making the
hats
playoffs.
gold.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Real high.
I'll be ahead
bar.
of both of you guys.
Uncalled for. Didn't need that today. Ottawa at Chicago. Chicago plus 200. Ottawa minus 245. Total set at 6.5. Minus 135 to the under. Plus 114 to the over. Betsky, we'll start with you in this one. Shots, again, look great for both sides in this one. So is that where you're going, or you're heading to a maybe point angle, or what are you thinking?
Well, after Spencer Knight shut it down the other night.
Yeah, 41 of 42.
Points.
hang on before you get going. There's a quote from what was it, last podcast on Monday by someone that said Ottawa needs to start winning games, and they lost their last one.
Oh, did I say that?
No, Franco said that.
Oh, you're pointing the wrong.
No.
Oh, wait, I am too.
Yeah. So I wanted to any follow up on that comment.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, no, I mean they aren't playing great right now. Obviously, like they're so all these wild card teams have a lot more to play for right now than Chicago. let's put it that way.
Yeah.
So you would hope and you would think that Ottawa comes out tonight and puts boot to ass, but I don't know, man. Chicago's been kind of feisty recently. I mean, frankly, all the main like bottom teams that we think of have been feisty. Anaheim, Chicago, San Jose, 1-2 have all been very feisty the last few games. I mean, I don't know. We'll see what happens, but this team does need to win games. It's very like this playoff drought is like silly at this point because we keep coming into the seasons, right? Like, what was it, like 2 or 3 years ago at this point when we thought they were going to finally like turn that corner, and they didn't. And then we're really high on them the year after that, and they didn't. And then this year we're kind of like lukewarm on it, but we thought the moves they made were pretty good. And we're like, are we really going to trust this team again? And here they are again, choking it away. So can they close?
Yeah. We'll see.
Well, the Jack Hughes news helps.
Yeah.
But
all right, sorry, I had to address that.
No worries. One thing that got pointed out online from Dougie Bubs Bets. So he's at Dougie Bubs Bets. He's been putting out some plays recently that have been looking pretty good. But he mentioned that on part of my take today, Brady Tkachuk said that the only place he hasn't scored in is Chicago. He has scored against the Blackhawks, but never in Chicago. So take that bit of information with what you will, but maybe his shots, again, you're kind of looking at this team that really needs a desperate win. Every win matters for them. Brady kind of dropped the ball against Washington the other night. He could easily bounce back here.
Yeah.
I didn't realize he finished with 8 shots that last game, like attempts.
Yeah.
I felt like he was just non-existent.
I agree. I'm kind of shocked about that, to be honest, too.
Yeah. Cap brought this up too, and I had him circled of Ilya Mikheyev 2+ shots on goal. He's hitting 5 straight, hitting 3 of 3 against Ottawa, and has been better at home this year. Ottawa in their last 10, I want to say, ranks second for shots on goal allowed to forwards. So I like that. You're getting it at a crazy, crazy good price tonight. On DraftKings, he's minus 115. So love Mikheyev for 2+ tonight. Sanderson 3+ is another guy that I had that I wanted to look at. Him and Shabbat as well. Are either of you on Shabbat or Sanderson shots on goal tonight?
I mean, both look great. Both have really, really good attempts right now. Shabbat really, I cannot believe that one shot that they claim went wide in overtime last game, but
that was ridiculous.
Unbelievable.
Well, I mean, it was going wide. I did a deep dive into it too. And his glove was wide of the net.
Was it?
They showed this original replay when he took one in the slot, and then they showed a second one of the camera angle behind the net, and you could see his glove was like a good foot outside of the net. Okay. So But still, that gave me hope for a brief second. I was like, because they initially
I know.
registered as a shot, and then they
Yeah.
just took it back.
Yeah.
Um,
But yeah, I think both of those two defensemen are really hot right now, and don't get discouraged because one shot went wide because Shabbat still ended up having 8 attempts that night. So
Yeah,
the look was
volume-
right.
That
Yeah,
volume's
the volume's
insane.
there.
Interesting. He's never hit against Chicago.
Sanderson or Shabbat?
Shabbat. On the road, 43.8%, and then at home, 40%. So yeah, I probably will go back to Shabbat tonight. I just don't see the reason to not.
I think Pinto Point looks really good too.
That's one of my favorite plays from this game. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Franco, you want to talk about that one then?
Yeah, I mean, the guy's been red hot. No other way around it, really. I think it's worth sprinkling his goal again. I grabbed that last game and hit it, so you're still getting plus money on his point. So I'm gonna hit that and the goal for a little sprinkle. The value's insane. His shot volume has been decent. He hasn't been hitting, but his volume is crazy over like his last few. He had like a 10-shot game, a 7-shot game in there, so he's playing with a little bit of confidence. On the other side, I think there's a lot of argument to be made for like a couple of Chicago guys, Donato and Teravainen. Seems like Teravainen's getting a point in every game. Same for Donato. I mean, they've both been red hot, hitting 9 of 10 and 8 of 10. So I don't see, regardless of how you think this game goes, if you're leaning Ottawa, in reg or puck line or whatever, I still think Chicago puts up at least 2 or 3 goals tonight. I think the over is in play here as well. So I definitely am interested in point props both ways. So Teravainen and Donato are the two I have circled. It seems like bizarre that we're not getting Bedard points over this little stretch of Chicago being offensively effective, but eventually he will be involved. I mean, he's pointless in 6 straight. So
yeah,
that's kind of wild to think about, isn't it? That
7.
We're talking about Chicago, right? And
That's
them
6, yeah, you're
scoring, and we're talking about Donato, Teravainen, not Connor Bedard. So that will change eventually. Maybe it's tonight, but yeah, leading you over here, and I think that you could look at multiple different point props here. Maybe do some stacks with line mates. Might be worth a look as well.
Yeah, I know Nazar just got moved up to the first line as well with Bedard. So that could be also another look as well. His shots are
They've been changing his
last game.
his other
before
winger.
That. Yeah.
Too. Like Slaggert started last
Yep.
game. Now it's Doc today, it looks like.
Wow, Frank Nazar's shots have been great too. 8 of his last 10.
Mm-hmm.
Minus 104 for 1.5.
Yeah, and if he is on that top line tonight, you have to figure he's going to get plenty of ice time.
I'm sure he's at least on the top power play unit. Well, he is on the top line.
Yep.
I guess he just
So
hoped
Nazar
that Bedard
this
doesn't
season
decide to just eat up all the shots. Okay, he is not on either power play unit though.
No,
he's centering the second. Yeah.
Yeah.
But Bedard, too, has missed his shots in his last 5 games. Attempts have only been 3, 6, 6, 1, and 2. So it's not like Bedard's attempts have all been 4+ or 5+ in all those games and kind of hogging those shots. So I don't mind going back to Nazar tonight. His home splits, though.
Yes. Go ahead.
His home splits 33.3% at home, on the road 50%. But again, it's not a huge sample size.
Yeah,
it's not a huge sample size. So,
and
the price is certainly right.
Yeah,
the price is certainly right for him tonight.
And I noticed Cap asking about Frank Nazar. I think it's Nazar actually.
I think it's Nazar. Yes. Correct, you guys.
I think he's like a late first round pick of 2022, and I think it was part of like the DeBrincat trade. Maybe they got a second, first, or actually.
Come on, Betsky, get that brain cooking. There's fire.
DeBrincat turned into the defenseman who's played here and there for them.
Oh, yeah. What's
from
that
Seattle
name?
Thunderbirds? And then they traded Kirby Doc for a first round pick, and that is who
they got for
is.
Nazer. Okay. Is
Right?
anybody interested in Claude Giroux shots, given his history against this team?
I did not know he had random history against
He
Chicago.
always has history. He has history against everybody. This guy's ridiculous. No, I mean, as a parlay piece at 2, and I think there's an argument to be made to look at 3. So at least watching that game, you know how we all had Brady, right? And we're hoping Brady would shoot. It was not Brady. It was Giroux. I felt like every time I was looking, I'm like, come on, get it to Brady. It's on the power play. And it's like Giroux shooting it from like Ovi's office over there. So he's been feeling it.
It was him and Stutzla, I felt like, was just ripping.
Yep.
And
daily
don't forget,
face-off.
2 seasons ago.
Daily face-off.
2 seasons ago, Stutzla was like a shot on goal.
He was
wagon.
so good.
He's picking it up lately.
I'm hoping this is, maybe this is. I don't know if I'm willing to jump in tonight. He's hit 3 of his last 4, though.
14 attempts in his last game.
I know.
But is that a good thing or a bad thing?
I mean, they were also down early in that game. I mean, that was very game script dependent. And
Chicago's been scoring in the first period, guys. So
true.
I mean,
Chicago's coming off 2 big wins after that, bringing that cold streak.
Yeah. I think you can argue for how the Stutzla assist looks insane. Holy crap.
Good call. -140 is just about battable. Staple him to fucking.
I mean, I think it's probably worth doing point with Giroux and Stutzla, or Brady and Stutzla, because I think again, Ottawa's got to win these freaking games, and I don't see Chicago shutting them down. I think there's a lot of goals here, so stack some guys. Stack
Knight, and Knight is not in, so yeah.
No, this feels like the game where you ladder up on player props for sure.
Yep.
Fun. All right. Any other plays in Chicago, Ottawa?
What was the other one I was going to bet, guys?
I had
point. Wait. I do want to circle back to that. I'm really sorry.
Okay.
Was Pinto on the second line when he was super productive and is now on the third with Ridley Grigg and Josh Norris with Braun?
I think he's been on
the second.
Hold on.
So, is he getting his chances and his points because
he was bumped up and now he's bumped down? You're saying?
Yes, but then regardless, it means that third line is potentially going to be matched up against a Chicago bottom 9 of Slaggert, Athanasiou, Tyler Bertuzzi, Pat Maroon, Lucas Reichel, and Craig Smith. So
Norris was back last game, and Pinto's on the third line. Hold on, I'm gonna look a little bit further back.
Yeah, his time on ice has dropped the last 3 games. For Pinto.
I may shy away from his point and think that the big guys get it done.
Hell, he's got a point in 3 of his last 4, coming off a 2-goal game.
I know.
It's one of those things where he's getting better matchups, He's just
for sure
being productive.
And I feel like that Perron Norris line is probably playing more of a shutdown role.
Yeah.
Which is not exactly something you need against Chicago.
So for this game, the shots, at least you're on Brady as well. I think Betsky, Franco, you guys on Brady 4+.
I'm trying to figure out how to use it. Maybe we'll use it for our parlay.
Yeah. And then Ilya Mikheyev, I really like too as well at that 2+ mark.
I think I like Shabbat better. If I was taking one,
Shabbat or Sanderson,
probably Shabbat, and I don't know if I want Sanderson or not because I don't want to double down.
Shabbat plus 110 right now.
I just think it's crazy.
Minus 105.
Yeah.
All right. Toronto at Vegas. Vegas minus 162. Toronto plus 136. Total set at 6.5 again. Plus 110 to the over. Minus 130 to the under. Franco, any looks in this one? Toronto 8-2 in their last 10, coming off a loss to San Jose in a shootout. Vegas 3-1 since the break, 5-1 in their last 6.
I kind of lean Vegas here. The lines moved too much at this point, though. I think they were minus 135 earlier this morning. I almost pulled the trigger, but now at minus 162, I can't really get behind it. I feel like Vegas has been still that better home team than road team. I don't know. I think this is a game I'm probably gonna not really have much in when it comes down to it. I think there could be an argument for, I know Adams going to be on Pietrangelo, block shots has been money since Theodore's been out. So maybe that's worth a look. I think the Hannafin point is worth a look as well at plus 110. Another guy kind of capitalizing on more ice time and more, just a better offensive role, let's put it that way, since Theodore's been out. I'm assuming Theodore still is not coming back anytime soon, so those guys will continue to capitalize if that's the case. And one more would be Hurdle, who's just been money recently. 4 points in 4 games since the break, including a 2-point game there. Obviously, no history against Toronto for whatever reason. 0 points in 7 games, but his points right at the cusp would be embeddable at minus 135. But like I said, I'd lean more towards that Vegas side as far as props go.
Yeah, Toronto has allowed the most shots on goal to defensemen in their last 10. Hannafin's a great parlay piece tonight. Pietrangelo opened at minus 120 on DraftKings, has since shifted to minus 135. So those are both looks that I really like for tonight. Pietrangelo has missed in 3 of his last 4, but has had 7 attempts in his last game against the Devils. Has hit in 4 of his last 5 versus Toronto, and has been pretty solid at home in his last few. So not a bad look for either Hannafin or Pietrangelo. Hannafin's obviously be a parlay piece. Betsky, what do you have in this one?
Yeah, don't love this match. I think Toronto's been not treating me very well. One thing just kind of poking around that pop, though, was Matthews' shots. He's hit 7 of his last 10. He had 15 attempts last game and 8 the previous 3 before that. Good history against Vegas, averages 10.2 shot attempts against them, hit 4 of 6. Vegas is good against centers, but I mean, there's certain players I just don't care about. It doesn't matter if the team can be the best against shots and to that position, and if there's a reason for that player to stay hot or they are just like on a streak, I don't care. And Matthews is definitely one of those. The only thing with Matthews is, man, it's rare that he strings more than like 2 games together. And he's already had it 2 in a row.
The patterns strike again.
I don't know. I'm jotting it down.
All right. We have some time tonight. The first game doesn't start until 7:30, so that's nice.
You guys see Matthews' assists his last 10 games.
Okay, more reason that I like his goal.
9 assists, he's hitting in 9 of 10.
Wow.
14 assists in his last 10 games total.
Oh, and then I found another great parlay piece.
He's also hit his assist in each of his last 8 road games.
Yeah, it's kind of wild. It doesn't make sense because I feel like he's just been snake bitten, like goal wise, since including the 4 nations, but like, it's just been really funky for him.
Mark Stone has hit in 9 of his last 10 games for his 1.5 shots on goal line and is averaging 4.9 shots for.
Yep.
Minus 184.
How about that?
Yeah,
but
I literally had Mark Stone 2+ shots on goal parlay piece right there. Yeah, I like that look as well.
Maybe him and Drew at 1.5 is going to get you some nice plus money.
Yeah.
Don't hate that. Going Matthews plus Eichel, Apple, Hannafin 2+ shots. I like that. All right. Any other looks in this one?
Nah.
No. I mean, Tanner Pearson looks like he's on the top line, so I'm not excited about that, but it's worth noting. If he has like see what his goal prop is. If it's ridiculous, I might sprinkle it just because. Plus 550. Yeah. Maybe a little bit. Out of principle.
Until 10.
Yeah, I'll think about it.
See how the early slate does. Yeah. All right. 2 games ago, St. Louis at Los Angeles, LA minus 162, St. Louis plus 136, total set at 5.5, minus 118 to the under. St. Louis 4-2 since the break, coming off a 6-3 loss in their last matchup to Dallas. LA 2-4 since the break on a 4-game losing streak, but 3 of those were on the road. At home this season, they've been fantastic, going 19-3-3. St. Louis 14-13-3 on the road. These teams just played 4 nights ago in St. Louis. St. Louis won 4-1 over LA. I kind of lean LA tonight to snap out of this little funk that they've been in after losing 3 of 4.
Yeah.
Rapid revenge.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep. LA in regulation tonight.
Yeah, I don't mind that.
Seems like a great spot for them. I have no props, but I do like LA in regulation tonight.
I kind of lean towards the over here for some reason. I don't know what it is that's drawn. Like, I think it's because I feel like there's a lot of good-looking player props given recent form. I feel like the Blues have been offensively, they've been looking really good recently, at least, right? Thomas is back a little bit. Smooth is back. His assist prop has been what, 10 straight, 12 straight, something like that. So he's been, he's returned back to the guy who we thought he was, right? Or who we normally see, right?
Not the puck ripper that he was for like
a
month.
Like that. It was weird, man.
Crazy.
He was like an auto. Like if you saw him for a point, you would auto bet him like at a bettable number. If you saw him an assist at like a nice number, you'd be auto betting him. I know this is a tough matchup given what the Kings can do, but so yeah, I mean, he looks good. I think Cairo looks decent. Buchnevich looks good given their recent form. Holloway and Shen, that second line, has been really good as well. So
yeah.
I mean, it's because of that. Like, I'm like, do I just take the over? Like, I know this is not typically a game you would want to look at an over with. These are, especially the Kings at home, but I don't know, man. Like, I don't know if I just take the point props and hope that, like, even if it's a 3-2 game, I cash my guys I take, or if I just take the over and root for goals either way. I don't know what you guys think about that, but
I don't mind the over here. LA's team total has been pretty solid at 2.5 as well. I think hitting 7 straight. So not a bad angle. But again, LA is just a different team at home this year.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah. Any other looks for you guys? Betsky, do you have anything in this one?
You guys trust Fiala shots? He had 8 on 13 attempts against Chicago. They got that 200 goal mark.
Yeah, he finally got the game I didn't bet him.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, because that's what happens.
Yep. He knew.
This is just it's a tough matchup for props, especially with shots on goal.
Hasn't where's this guy? Hasn't Parayko been like a wagon recently?
He's been pretty good. He had 2 7-shot attempts too. That may be another nice 1.5.
Yeah, I mean, he's
crazy that we just
5.
never got. Yeah, wow. I mean, him and Nazar at 1.5 would be like.
Yeah, that would be like plus 250 or something.
Yeah. Why didn't they offer Parayko in seasons before?
I feel like he was always like more of a block shot guy, at least in my remembrance.
He's hit 1.5 in 59% of this time in last season. Wait.
Yeah.
Oh, you know what? I take that back. No, yeah. Wow. That's weird.
I don't know. Yeah, I mean, he's been more of a like presence, I guess, this year. I don't know how you. He hasn't been us. He hasn't been as good on the road, I guess. So that's my only pause. And obviously, the Kings are a good team against shots relatively against defensemen. So I just think it's that argument. Like, do you continue to ride a guy that's hot regardless of the matchup, or
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm
don't
just sticking with LA tonight. I'm not trusting any props in this game.
Yeah,
it's a
I
weird
think
one.
LA reg is nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a good price.
Minus 105 on DraftKings. So that's what I got it at. All right. Last game of the night. Anaheim at Vancouver.
I want to play a game before
here we
dive
go.
into this.
Before we get to the last one. All right.
This is for Tyson. This is a game that I like to call on the Vancouver Canucks. Who has more points, Elias Pettersson and we're going to kick it off with. Let's start with Elias Pettersson. We'll go easy, or Quinn Hughes. Who has more points? Come on, this should be a no-brainer.
Quinn Hughes.
Yeah, Quinn Hughes.
Yes. Yeah.
He leads the team in points, doesn't he? By
yeah.
By
How about Elias Pettersson or P.S. Suter?
Suter.
No,
Pettersson.
Oh man, come on, Pew.
How about Elias Pettersson or let's do?
I thought we were just doing this. I thought we were just taking.
We're just crushing Tyson's.
How about Connor Garland? How about
Connor Garland's got to have more.
Yep.
He's been
2 more points.
He's been one of the better players for that team. I feel like, at least during stretches this year.
Elias
He's
Pettersson
in a little bit of a cold streak right
DeBrusque.
now. I had him.
Or who?
Or DeBrusque.
DeBrusque for sure.
I feel like it's Pettersson.
They're tied.
DeBrusque has been ice cold recently too. I mean, he was a guy we were betting early in the season, and I haven't seen anyone post DeBrusque in like months.
That's pretty much all. And then Brock has more. Those are the 4 players that have more points than Pettersson, and P.S. Suter only being
how many Ducks
7
players? How many Ducks players have more points than Elias Pettersson? There's probably like 15 players.
Yeah. So
you may be a little bit high on the Ducks here. Only 3.
Ah, damn. Okay, I guess the Ducks just whatever.
Yeah,
Ducks just keep on quacking.
Yeah. Speaking of Elias Pettersson, Picklets, I had the same thought tonight. Since I am the Elias Pettersson whisperer at this point, hitting my under once with him, I am tempted to take his shots tonight. And I hate it.
Yeah, his history is insane.
Yeah. I absolutely despise it. But 7 of his last 9 against Anaheim. He's missed in 9 straight, I want to say right now. Yeah, 9 straight, 7 of 9 against Anaheim at home. It's been better this season, but it is very, very scary taking this. So he's hit it at home in 61.5% of games, on the road in 28.6.
It just
he
means
spoke
he's
to the media
right?
yesterday about how he's been double clutching his shots and said he's going to shoot more.
All right, prove it.
I'm in.
He's like minus 145 though. It's not even like you're getting a good value on a guy that doesn't hit. That's my biggest problem.
He's missed in 9 straight and he's minus 145 tonight.
I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. No, you're right.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
I think that's the most off-putting thing about it is like the books are telling you he's going to hit tonight just based on those odds, but I mean, come on.
Yeah.
You're not even getting OV at that number.
Yeah, wild. Insane.
He's minus 130 on FanDuel, so there you go.
All right.
Oh, because they know they want you to take it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, usually when I bet on FanDuel, I lose. So
we will get to our parlay of the night.
We should
after this game. Yeah, we'll put one together for tonight. After what do we hit? Plus 630.
Something like that.
6. That was a wild ride. Shout out Rasmus Dahlin though. Never a doubt.
Never a doubt.
Never a doubt.
There you go, Adam. Now we're talking. Now we got some value. I like that. Hold on. Let's see. Let me look at it. I mean, I guess the chart will still look like shit regardless. So never mind. I won't look at the chart. But that makes sense.
Yeah.
Him getting 1 in the first.
All right.
I mean, it's the Ducks.
It's the Ducks. So
You know he's gonna miss. He's gonna break down the wing on like a 2-on-1, and he's gonna smash it, and it's gonna go wide, and we're all gonna be screaming.
It's gonna hit one of the green
and he's
men
gonna be
next to
like
the penalty box.
drop his stick.
Yeah.
Never makes
Quinn
another
Hughes
attempt.
out tonight. Yeah.
Oh
His
man,
stick
are
snaps,
we
hits him
doing
in
a
his
Ducks
wrist
money
and,
line play here? Is that what's coming up?
So
Well,
I already
there's a
locked
guy
in.
yeah, there we go. Yeah,
I already locked in Ducks money
segue.
line.
Here we go.
Ducks money line plus 188. I got earlier today.
Wow.
And I locked in Ducks team total over 2.5 plus 100. So I think worst case I split here, but the Canucks are brutal. All season long they've been worse at home. I get the Ducks running back to back, and they had a big win against Edmonton and all that fun stuff. But maybe they just parlayed into another big game offensively and just shellac this team. So no Quinn Hughes is just a big loss. So, but before I pass it over to you guys, I love Mr. Hronik tonight with no Quinn Hughes for shots. So I will back at least one Vancouver prop here. His over 1.5 is minus 145. Looks like it's 142 somewhere. I grabbed it at that price. I know a lot of people don't like eating that type of juice, but I think just given the matchup, you just take it because, it's the Ducks. And then you look at his charts without Quinn Hughes, and he's just been money. So without him, he's hit this year in every game. He's gotten 3 or more in 2 of those 6 games. So I sprinkled 3 as well, given the matchup at plus, I believe it was plus 210 or so. So
that's great.
Yeah.
I really like that
a lot. Betsky, any plays for you in this one?
I'll admit it. I haven't dived too far into this one. But McTavish has really impressed me with some of the viewings I've had of him lately. And that's like another guy I got circled, another 1.5. I've got like a huge list of 1.5s, including EP40, but I don't think I'm actually going to take that. He's hit in 8 of his last 10 and is averaging 4.3 shot attempts per game. I know Vancouver's not always the best, but this is a team that's riding hot right now, as the Ducks. So I don't mind just kind of continuing with the hot hand. And he's been pretty decent with the back-to-backs.
I'm also going to hop on Cutter tonight, BC legend. Cutter Gauthier tonight at 1.5. So I'm adding him to my card. I don't have his stats in front of me right now.
That was very confusing. You made it sound like he was from British Columbia.
No.
Boston College. He's from Boston College, yes. So there's no narrative here, but yes, he's been very hot with his shots.
Yep, like Cutter. So I'm adding him. I'm gonna hop on that Hronik play as well, Franco. So those are probably my 2 looks. Heedle.
I like Gauthier as well, by the way.
Yeah. So. Yeah, Heedle looks at 3+, doesn't look bad either. It's been pretty good as of late. Brock Besser also has an insane history against Anaheim, but that's more of a parlay piece at this point.
Is he planning to be traded as well? Saw some rumors about Besser being traded.
He's got 2 goals in the last 10.
Okay, fair enough.
So Cutter's hitting 8 of 10, each of his last 7 on the road, and then it has hit twice against Vancouver, recording 3 on 5 and then 4 on 9. So add that to my card. All right,
cool.
Any other plays before we get into our parlay?
Let's do
Just
it.
a little parlay.
Let's do it.
All right. Who are we going with first? I'm assuming the games we're going to be targeting is going to be Ottawa, Chicago is going to be 1. Anaheim, Vancouver is going to be another. And then do we go to Washington, New York? Those are kind of the 3 big games we had for shots on goal targets, point plays. So
JT Miller too, right?
Shots?
Yeah.
JT Miller.
What? That was one we mentioned, right? I'm just trying to start from the top here.
Oh.
Yeah, so we had over Ovechkin, Protas, Miller, Cooley
I don't know if-
as well in that first one that we all mentioned for shots on goal. Those are the ones that
I don't want to do Ovi. I'm fine with just taking
Yeah.
it as a straight.
Yeah,
tonight.
I don't even want to mention Ovi just because of I mean,
Okay.
we're all betting him straight. I think these are guys we
Yep.
feel comfortable.
Any thoughts
with.
on Cooley at 2? Or do you want to go JT Miller at 2?
I'd rather go Miller point, but
I'm actually that's better. Let's do that. Miller point.
okay.
JT Miller point. Okay.
I like that.
Let's add that. Minus 165.
Ottawa,
All right.
Chicago. Is it Nazar shots? Is it
That needs our shot.
I really
at
like
-105
Mikheyev
is
shots.
a little sketchy for me. I'd
Okay.
rather just take that as a straight
Yeah.
at that point.
Yeah, that's fine.
Or like do
yeah.
it with Periaco and get like 2 guys at 1.5 for almost 250.
We also mentioned Giroux at 2. That was
Stützle
another one
like
like
that.
game.
I like
You
that.
want Giroux at 2?
Or how about Stützle
Stützle
assist?
point. Yeah, Stützle
Or-
point even.
Well, how about
Just
him
because-
and Brady point then?
Yeah.
And then if we get 4 pieces,
So Stützle is Stützle minus 270, Brady minus 200. Who do you want for a point in that one?
Well, you do both, and it should reduce that juice. Because we're
you wanna
talking
do a
about
same
that
game
top
parlay
line.
with both of them.
Yeah. Right? You agree? That's
All right.
yeah.
Anaheim, Vancouver. Do you want to go Cutter, or do you want to do Hronek?
I'd rather go Cutter because I'd already heavily invested in Hronek. Unless there's somebody else you guys like. Do we just do another point prop? Since we're doing all points. Are we doing all points?
Yeah, we could do that.
So points.
Do we do
Stützle,
I mean,
then Brady point.
Lacombe
All right.
has been fantastic. He's plus 122.
For a point.
Yeah, I mean, if we want to go a little, unless you want to go shorter odds, you could do a guy like Troy Terry. I think McTavish looks
Let's
good
look
for a
at this
point.
one for a second here.
Other points in this.
Yeah, no. I mean, if you don't want to,
Sure.
I just think there's going to be goals here. But shot wise, we're looking Gauthier.
Saying, yeah, I'm fine with Cutter at this point. I think we had one shot prop.
Okay. What does that get us? That should be pretty decent.
JT Miller point, Cutter over 1.5 shots on goal, Stützle point, Kachuk point, plus 420.
Oh, whoa. Sweet.
Perfect. Perfect. Wrap it up.
Don't boost it.
Yeah.
Yeah. As always, our parlays are on DraftKings. New customers can get $150 in bonus bets when you use promo code THPN. Also, I want to look at their pick 6 to see if we can get better odds on that for tonight, because that's basically the same thing that sometimes
Can't get better odds than that.
they offer as well. So let me check that out first.
This is
You can
ridiculous.
at sometimes. Yeah.
Well,
Brady and Stützle aren't
maybe
offered for points.
technically better, but not better for the vibes. I can tell you that.
That's
right
true.
now.
Yeah, the vibes at plus 420.
I'll lock that in before the odds
Yeah.
change.
Yeah. Do you have it typed in? Because I feel like one more person hitting it may.
I typed
do.
it in.
All right.
Yeah.
Ready? 1, 2, 3.
We're
Sweet.
doing it live. Literally,
Yes.
we're placing
Yeah.
bets live here, guys.
In the famous words of Bill O'Reilly. Fuck it. We'll do it live.
It's very true. That is very, very true. All right.
Awesome. I feel good about this slate tonight, guys. I really
Yeah,
do.
yesterday was a little bit of a bummer.
Yeah.
Yep.
But I like look at those scores. I'm like, man, if you just tweaked a little bit, if I just didn't get so focused on certain games and teams, it would have been so much better. But that's how it goes sometimes.
Yep.
I will blame a lot of it
Yep.
on the Sabres.
All right.
I always blame the Sabres.
Yeah, this is an easy one to. This
You
is
can
kind of like a
blame.
scapegoat.
You can blame a lot of my life on the
It's
Sabres.
like escape
It's too easy.
buffalo at this
Yeah,
point.
I was gonna
Escape
say
bison.
That's very true. All right. I think it's time. Let's do this giveaway before we sign off tonight.
How we're doing the giveaway?
Gator's about to pull up the wheel of death.
We got it or no?
Do you have it? No, I don't
That'd be
see anything
something.
yet. Aaron's asking what's the significance of 420. I'm not sure if Aaron's serious though.
Okay.
All right, let's shuffle these up.
Good luck, guys.
Go into the lore of what you used to write down on your notebook, the Stussy S and stupid band names.
Ooh, Aaron almost got it right there.
Owen.
Ooh.
Congrats, Owen.
All right, Owen, we'll get in contact. Perfect. All right, any other things to add for tonight?
No, let's have like 7-5 games like all across the board. Will that be cool? Like 5-4.
You taking the daily special then over 29.5 goals or whatever it is?
I just want goals, man. Let's have a fun night.
Yeah.
All right. Perfect.
Hey, if we hit another one, guys, we'll do another giveaway. So let's root for that. How about that?
There we go.
Yep. All right. Thank you to everyone tuning in tonight. Be sure to subscribe on YouTube if you haven't. That really does help us out a lot with views. We have some exciting news coming. Maybe Friday we announce it.
I think we could do Friday.
The ESPN deal?
Yeah.
I wish it was that exciting.
Yeah. That'd be something. Yeah, a whole lot more content coming soon, though, that we can kind of tell you as of now. So be sure to stay on the lookout for that. And then, Friday we'll announce it. We'll have a special guest Friday as well. Betsky is out of town traveling again, a world traveler over there. Unacceptable. Yeah.
I'm traveling to the printer and to FedEx is what I'm doing multiple times. I wish I was traveling, but
yeah. All right. Thanks again to listening. We will talk to you guys Friday and be on the lookout for some exciting news soon. Until then, have a good one.